Hello everyone, welcome back to another reading vlog, but in today's video we are going to my grandma's house. Okay, but let me slow down because we're not there yet. It is currently Saturday. I actually just wrapped up my latest reading vlog and I'm ready to start another. So yeah, like I said, it is currently Saturday, and on Thursday I'm going to my grandma's house for the weekend. She lives back in my hometown and I am so excited just to hang out. It's also her birthday. Also, I'm not biased when I say she has like my dream Pinterest board house. Like, I have to film this so y'all can see how cozy it is. So yeah, that's this week's plan. I would love to knock out a book or two before we get there, and then I'm gonna need an audiobook for the road, and yeah, it's just gonna be a really fun week. As for today and the first book of this video, we have Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. I really hope I didn't mispronounce her name, but this was a big romantasy, I think, last winter, and I feel like everyone rated this highly, and I think I'm going to love it. It is like a enemies to lovers between a witch and a witch hunter, and I love witches. I just really think I'm going to love this book, and it's a duology. The second book is already out, so if I love this one, I can dive into that one. But we have our main character, Rune, and then the MMC is Gideon. And y'all, get this, to throw the witch hunters off of her scent from like saving the other witches and whatnot, she pretends to like court that Gideon guy, and I think I'm going to love that. Okay, I think that's a pretty good synopsis for now. I will definitely keep y'all updated with my thoughts on this. I'm gonna dive right into reading right now. But yeah, welcome to this week's reading vlog. Okay, hello. We have officially reached the point of the night where I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open to read, and so I figured I would just end the night by giving y'all an update on Heartless Hunter, and then I also have two packages that are books that I'd love to open with y'all. First, starting off with Heartless Hunter, I am 57 pages in and I am loving this so much. This is definitely going to be a highly rated book for me, just based off the premise. Like I told y'all, I love the whole witch versus witch hunter thing. So far, I'm loving the magic and the spells, and we really have barely gotten into it, but I'm excited to see what's to come for the magic. Also, dual point of view, which I just love, especially in a romantasy. And I also believe that this is like a historical romantasy. I'm not sure what time period it's supposed to be in, but they're, you know, riding horses, talking about attending balls and courting one another. So those are like all really good buzzwords for me. And as y'all saw, I ended up reading it on my Kindle because this is on Kindle Unlimited, so obviously I picked it up there, and I think it says I'm like 12% through. So I clearly have very high expectations for barely being into it, but I just don't see it disappointing me. Anyways, let's talk about my book packages. Let's start off with my book of the month one because it's kind of relevant, you'll see. Why do I not know how to open this? Y'all, I'm clearly very tired. I got 2 books. Oh my gosh, this one's thick. This is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. The back says, 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangled like roots. One grows high and one grows deep and one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. I won't lie, the Addie LaRue book by this author was not a hit for me, but I'm hoping I will love this. Next up, I got Rebel Witch. Of course, I needed the matching book of the month copy. I'm too lazy to get the Heartless Hunter cover, but now I have the completed duology and they're gonna look so good together. Not me trying to read the flap, like, no, I'm not doing that. And yes, that package was very exciting, but dare I say this one is going to be better. I'm so excited. If y'all did not know, The Rose Bargain has been one of my favorite books of the year. It was an easy 5-star. Oh my gosh. This is so beautiful. This is the cover. I love that foiling. And then the end pages are seriously stunning. And then here is the back one. I absolutely love it. There's sprayed edges too. I don't think I shared that, but oh, also it's signed. And you know what? It's a little similar to Heartless Hunter. It's historical, so they're going to balls in both of them. There's 2 brothers in both of them, and then they're romantasy. So if by any chance you've read Heartless Hunter and liked it, maybe you should pick up The Rose Bargain because I loved it. Okay, despite my excitement for these books, I actually am falling asleep. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Hello, I am now officially driving to Grandma's house. I think I've been driving for like 45 minutes and I have 4.5 hours left. Just for some background, if y'all were curious, I currently live in West Texas. I went to college there and then got a job there with my husband, but I'm from a Dallas suburb, so that's where I'm headed to right now. I have done this drive a million times and I see a lot of tumbleweeds, trucks, open land, small towns, windmills. It's a little country on this drive, but I like it. And I am going to start an audiobook. I'm going to pick a book that I've just been putting off. And the book I have chosen to read is called like The Golden Couple or something like that. It's by 2 authors, I know that much. And I think it's just a domestic mystery or maybe thriller. I'm not sure, but it's been on my TBR forever and I would love to get it off. So that's the plan for this drive. I'm pretty sure it's an 11-hour audiobook and I'll probably listen on like 1.8 speed. So I should get a decent amount in. And I'm not even sure if y'all can hear me. So I'm going to let y'all go. Maybe I'll update later. welcome to my grandma's house. We are currently having a sleepover, so I'm in my PJs, and I have some book updates, but I am gonna be kind of quiet because she's sleeping in the next room. I'll get to Heartless Hunter in a second, but I want to talk about The Golden Couple. As y'all saw, I started this audiobook on the drive and I am 67% through. Looking at the genre tags on Goodreads, it calls it a thriller, a mystery, a psychological thriller, a suspense. And so far, that's like not true at all. The synopsis is that this perfect husband and wife go to therapy, and the wife admits that she cheated on him, and so they have 10 sessions to work through this. But the therapist that they're seeing is very unconventional, and I don't know, for instance, she's like snooping on them outside of their therapy sessions just to learn more about them. And also the therapist is one of our POVs. We only get the POV of her and the wife from the couple, and it is very interesting. I don't trust anyone, but there is no mystery yet. Like I told y'all, I'm 67% through, and it's just starting to get like a little suspicious. The authors just kind of start explaining their lives, and you get interested, and now the mystery aspect is coming in, which I don't mind. I'm definitely invested. I have no idea what is going to happen. Now, as for Heartless Hunter, I am enjoying this book so much. I'm on chapter 24, which is 40% through the book, and we just got to our first like witch versus witch hunter scene, which was really good, especially because our witch has her secret identity. It's just chef's kiss. I'm very excited to see that progress. As for the writing, I feel like we're 80% there. There are some really descriptive lines that I am obsessed with, but it's not super consistent, and I feel like it's a little choppy, like a little indecisive. Like I told y'all earlier, I am a sucker for a book with witches in it, but something I love maybe even more is like nautical, ocean, sea stuff, and this book has that too. Like, are you kidding? And the magic, we're like still diving into it, but it's so good. I want to read y'all a bit of the section that I highlighted, but for background, these witches have to cut themselves or others in order to get blood to do spells. And it talks about many witches made their cuts with care, intentionally creating elaborate designs across their bodies. And it talks about employing artists to do the cutting for them. And it just, you know, it's meant to be like tattoos. Now, I thought this was so cool. Like, I was geeking out over this, and I still am. But the cuts actually heal like silver, and she talks about her grandma's cuts depicting nautical scenes, a ship in the storm half swallowed by waves, sea monsters swimming in the deep, like on her skin. That is so cool. I think that is long enough updates for now. Y'all get the point. I'm really enjoying these two books. I am going to read more of Heartless Hunter tonight, but it is already 11, so I will probably fall asleep pretty quickly. Also, I'm just not getting to read as much as I had expected, so that's totally fine because I'm having a fun time. But yeah, just letting y'all know. I'm going to read, and I'll talk to y'all later.
that?
Alright, hello. As y'all can clearly see behind me, I am back from my grandma's house. I had a great time, and as y'all saw, I didn't get to film as much as I was hoping to, but I hope y'all still enjoyed those clips and got a glimpse into her beautiful home. Now, on the drive back home, I showed y'all that I picked back up The Golden Couple, and I actually finished it. So we're gonna talk about this first. My main qualm with this, and I think I talked about it earlier, is that it is said to be this mystery thriller, and it is not that, like, whatsoever. I mean, at the end, something did happen, but I wasn't expecting it really, and it didn't surprise me, and I wasn't scared. I don't know, maybe if the first chapter in this book kind of gave like a forewarning, I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, like told us what was going to happen, maybe we didn't know exactly the details, then throughout the book it'd be leading up to that. But instead, I was just underwhelmed completely. And this isn't a bad book. Like, if you already own it or if you're interested, I would still tell you to go ahead and read it. But I would tell you to go in knowing it's more about, you know, the drama around this couple and the people in their lives. And there's a few unknown things that you're wanting to find out. But I don't know, I wouldn't categorize this as a mystery really, but I was definitely intrigued. I really wanted to know what was going to happen with these people and how these authors were going to, you know, wrap everything up. And you know what they actually did, because as we were nearing the end of the book, I was like, they still need to wrap up A, B, and C and this storyline and what happened to that person. And you know what? They did a good job with it. So yes, I'm rating this a 3 stars. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't my least favorite. Then as for Heartless Hunter, I have this and my Kindle just because I've been going back and forth. But I'm on chapter 45. Y'all can't even see that, but that is 76% through, and it says I have 2 hours and 20 minutes left, which I am wanting to finish this tonight. Look at how freaking close I am. Talk about intrigued. I am so excited to see what unfolds here, and I think it's gonna end on a cliffhanger since this is a duology, and I'm just ready to know. I've not gotten a lot of time this past week to just sit down and read for like a set amount of hours. So I feel like I've been reading this for so long. I'm ready to finish it, and I'm still continuing to love this, y'all. This is so good. As I told y'all earlier, witch versus witch hunter, enemies to lovers, two brothers. But something I want to mention is how good this author is at letting you into these characters' minds. And you're really seeing why they're making the decisions that they're making. It like makes sense. Because sometimes our characters do things and I'm like, why would you ever think to do that? And then you know what? The author's like, hey, this is why, like literally this is it. And I'm like, well damn, like, you know, that's a good reason. And I think it's because she writes like that I feel this connection with these characters. I am so excited. We still have some pretty writing here and there, but one plot that I wanted to share with y'all because I'm really enjoying it is the reflection our main character Rune is going through, because as we know, she is the Crimson Moth. If you didn't know that, that's the name of this duology. And here she's thinking to herself, she says, if I didn't have to hide myself, she thought, who would I be? Who was the real Rune Winters? Not the socialite, not the Crimson Moth, but the person deep down inside her. So I'm really enjoying that like self-reflection we're getting. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up about this book now and go read it. It is 5:17. So I think I'm gonna have to pause to watch Love Island, which y'all, that show's pissing me off. No spoilers around here, of course, but if y'all wanna know where I'm at, yesterday was the Sunday before Casa Amor and they sent home 2 people and it was just so stupid and I'm pissed. I should just stop watching and read this, but I'm probably going to watch. All right, I will see y'all when I have finished Heartless Hunter. Hello y'all, I'm going to try and make this a quick update, but I want to talk about how I finished Heartless Hunter now about 2 days ago. So I think the last time y'all heard me talk about this, I was like obsessed with it, loving it, and the end did disappoint me. Our girl Rune was making some questionable choices that felt out of character for me, and in my opinion didn't make sense with the story. I was not very happy. So although this was definitely 5-star potential, I am rating it a 4-star, and I even brought this discussion to TikTok to see if I was going to enjoy Rebel Witch, just because I was so annoyed with how this book ended. And I don't know, the plot has shifted a lot, and like not that much because the main goal to save witches is still there, but I'm just not happy with the setup of Rebel Witch. But I had quite a few people tell me in my TikTok comments to push forward, keep going, that some of them even loved Rebel Witch more than Heartless Hunter. So I am continuing on. I started to read it and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna audiobook this. And I'm glad I did, honestly. I am on chapter 17, which is page 103, and this is a thicker book, so I'm not even 1/4 done. And sadly, this isn't a book where I want to be reading it every second that I can. Like, I think right now I'm about to start a new book instead of continuing on with this, just because I want to read something else. Now, that is not a good sign, obviously, but I am so excited to get to Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. And let's talk about this, because the only other book I've read by this author is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I did not like that. I don't think I could reread that. Like, that was just not the book for me. However, I really enjoyed her writing. I remember it being beautiful, which I love. And I actually picked this for my work book club book. So I'm really hoping it doesn't let me down and embarrass me, obviously. And some of my coworkers have already started putting their thoughts into our Fable book club, so I am behind. I need to catch up. I think I'm going to start this tonight. So all I know about this is lesbian, vampires, and drama. And I believe there's 3 stories. Yeah, there's 3 stories following 3 women. And I don't know if they're going to be intertwined or anything, but I'm gonna get started with this and I will let y'all know. It's time to wrap up this reading vlog, which is pretty long, so I'm going to try and make this quick. Y'all have already heard me talk about The Golden Couple and Heartless Hunter, so I'm not going to say anything else about these 2, but the last time we spoke, I was in the middle of both of these, so it's time to update. Starting off with the book I didn't get to finish, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I am just around 130 pages, and I'm not obsessed with this, which I'm really bummed about. And I'm still at the very beginning of this, so there's time, but I'm not feeling super confident in this. I will probably continue this in the next reading vlog, so watch that if you're interested. Then we have Rebel Witch, and I did end up finishing this. So let's talk about it because my opinions have done like a whole 180 when it comes to this book, because I was telling y'all about how I was a little disappointed with the end of Heartless Hunter just because our main character Rune kind of made out of pocket, you know, decision that I didn't agree with, and I just felt like it was irrelevant. I don't know why it was even done. So yeah, that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Then into Rebel Witch, the first like, I don't know, 40 pages, I was like, who are these people? Where are we? What is going on? Like, I just finished the first book and it feels like it's been months or something. It just, you know, felt very different. But I'm so glad I continued on because this was fire. Like, this was actually so good. I will probably revisit this duology, and I'm not gonna lie, this is giving what I expected Divine Rivals, that duology, to give. Now, I will say it was insanely predictable. Like, every twist, you could see 200 pages coming. Like, it was very obvious in the direction that this book was going to go, but it was so action-packed, and we got a lot of our two main characters together, like the whole book, I feel like. So obviously we got to see their connection grow, but it was still really well done with the enemies to lovers, in my opinion, even though it was book 2. I will say these books are so different from one another. In Heartless Hunter, you know, we're meeting people, it's more character driven, in my opinion. And, you know, it's world building, and it was fun to find out about like the magic and the spells. And then here it's like all political, which is good. It was very rebellious and interesting to read. But yeah, they were just very, very different, and I definitely liked this one more. I think I'm gonna give this a 4.25, and that's all I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I had so much fun bringing y'all to Grandma's house and reading these books, which are all book of the month. So book of the month, if you want to sponsor, I'm ready when you are. I will see you in the next one.